Yo, yo, yo. What's up, YouTube? It's J Love You Too. Been a long time. No mask, but you know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to conceal my face somewhat. Uh, yeah, man, it's been quite some time, y'all. You know, I just been focused on my own development, but I did make a decision to post more videos, so be on the lookout. Uh, yeah, if you haven't subscribed, you should. You know what I'm saying. But today, man, I want to give you a tip. Basically, the tip is how to sleep properly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, how to sleep properly. Alright, y'all. Yeah, I read this book maybe I think like 8 months, nah, maybe 5 months ago. But yeah, man, this book is pretty expensive. This book is about 1,000 on Amazon, 2,000 or whatever the fuck. But I was lucky enough to get it for 100 on half.com. And basically, you know what I'm saying, the book pretty much focuses on what I'm about to talk about today. Basically, man, we're living in the past, pretty much. We're living in the past, and everybody has a future self that's already experienced this timeline. A future self that knows all, basically. A lot of people know this self as the higher self, as the supreme self, as the true self. It's all the same thing. And basically, the way this our higher self communicates with us, it's different forms, you know what I'm saying? Meditation, you know what I'm saying? I really don't want to say food, so I'm not going to say food. You know what I'm saying? No, not food. Maybe your urine, you know what I'm saying, but not food. Uh, yeah, and one of the main channels of communication your higher self uses to give you information is through sleep. And it's not just being knocked out for 8 hours blank sleep. The main sleep I'm talking about is REM sleep, you know what I'm saying? Uh, REM sleep. REM basically stands for rapid eye movements, and it's basically the state when you do mainly dreaming when you sleep. Now, a lot of things are going on, and scientists can confirm this. During REM sleep, your brain has the most activity, and I tell you now, man, you're just traveling through infinite dimensions, dog. That's a time where your higher self comes down, and it uses water technology. It feeds information to the water, and it feeds information with the water in your body. And this is what's used to supply you with intuition, to supply you with opportunities, uh, positive feelings that inspire the right choices and stuff like that. And this is what comes to my tip. It's something that people have forgotten how to do. We've been conditioned and we're sleeping quite unnaturally. Uh, a lot of people tend to sleep and they plan their next day. They sleep and say, tomorrow I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do that. Or they think about certain circumstances, or they think about deadlines. But the main thing is, before they sleep, they always tend to be in the future. Uh, that is very unnatural for a human to do. Very, very unnatural. Uh, and thinking in the future right before sleep, it retards the interchange you have with your future self. See, you guys should start to see yourself as a newborn baby. You know what I'm saying? That's what you are right now. You're just a newborn baby. Your future self, your higher self, is your parents. Now, when you're a newborn baby, you don't. It's not your job to worry about what time you're gonna wake up tomorrow, or what time you're gonna eat, how you're gonna eat, or how you're gonna stay warm, or how you're gonna be safe. That's not your job when you're a baby. Your job is just to have complete faith in your provider, your parents. Your job is just to live and enjoy the moment. That's what we need to start doing right before we go to sleep. This is the best way to allow your higher self, your future self, to be unrestrained because it knows what's best. So this is the tip I would like to give to y'all. Right before you go to sleep, never ever have future thoughts. Don't even think about what you want to wear for the next day. Nothing future based. Also, you need to give your higher self permission to do what is best. Send a little prayer out to your higher self. There's already a connection. It's basically dying. It's basically so compelled to reestablish that connection with you. So there's a good chance that your higher self made you attract this video to you. But yeah. So in order to reestablish that connection, you know what I'm saying, you need to have faith in your higher self. Send out a little prayer and give him or her your permission. Higher self, let your will be done. You know what's best for me. You know what to do. I leave the future in your hands. Please create for me the best future possible and go to sleep. That's how it's done, guys. It's of utmost importance and urgency that I get this message out to as many people as possible so you can begin practicing this as soon as possible. It sounds so simple, guys, but believe me, it is one of the most pivotal things, one of the most important things a lot of people need to be aware of. See, the way the system is designed, it's designed to keep you in a cycle, to keep you always thinking about the future. It stops you, and not just you, but also your future self, you, from communicating, and it stops your higher self from exercising its supreme wisdom. And trust me, it really wants to have your permission to do its work, because once you fix your present timeline, which is now, this fixes your past self's lifetime and your future self lifetime. It's like there's 3 timelines going on simultaneously. Your future self, you, and you in the past, and you're all connected. Once you get yourself straight, everybody, you know what I'm saying, benefits. So yeah, guys, please don't neglect this simple tip. It's highly important, and yeah, man, I just wanted to share it with you because I love y'all so much. And I know a lot of people getting a book like this is not in people's budgets. Like, this shit is like 500, 1,000, 2,000 on the net. So I'm just giving y'all that simple tip. Another tip, man, it's in the Bible. Everybody says it all the time. Treat others the way you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? That also affects your higher self's ability. Love others, guys.
Let's just say some pizza from me.
I'm doing a video right now, man. Sheesh. Alright, guys, so that's what I wanted to share with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I will be doing more videos. So please subscribe. It's gonna be some heavy stuff, y'all. Stuff that, you know what I'm saying, people don't really talk about. Information like this. Okay, guys, I love y'all so much. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Jo Niranjan Omkar Varankar Sohang Satnam. Meditate on this statement. There is no cause of anything. Jay, love you too, y'all. I'm out.